welcome to Deer Lion Yoga. I'm Becky, and in today's flow, we will be working with our feet and ankles and also doing a little bit of balancing along with that. You'll need 2 blocks if you have them, or just a couple books if you don't have any blocks. And with that, let's begin. So we'll begin in a simple seat on your mat. Legs are crossed. And since we're focusing on the feet and the ankles today, we'll start just by giving your foot a little massage, giving it some love and attention. Maybe working into the toes, maybe the heel of the foot. Good, and then moving into the ankle. So just lifting your leg up and drawing some circles with your foot, right and left. Good, and then just switching the cross of your feet. So bringing the other foot to the top and doing the same thing. So just gently massaging into the foot, working into the toes. Again, just sending your foot love and attention, thanking them for the work that they do for you every day. Good, and then just drawing circles with the ankle, right and left. Good. So from here, we are going to move over onto our knees. And we're going to sit on, so tuck your toes under on the mat, and we'll come to sit on the heels of your feet. So this is a pretty intense stretch. And so we'll just sit here for maybe about 30 seconds or so. And just breathing into that sensation, placing your hands just on top of your legs. Maybe you close your eyes here. Allowing yourself to feel. Stretching the toes, the bottom of the feet. Staying here for a couple more breaths. Good. And then untucking your toes, coming to sit all the way back onto your heels, taking your hands behind you, and we're bringing our knees off the ground, so coming to the tops of our toes, so stretching the tops, the front of our ankles, and our toes here. If you want, you can experiment with bringing your hands to your heart. Good. And then coming back down out of the pose. So rolling onto our hands, tucking our toes under, and we'll lift our hips up to the ceiling, coming into a downward dog. So pedaling out the feet here. So let me move these. Fingers are spread wide. Creases of the elbows are starting to point towards the front of the room. So whatever movements feel good to you here, keep pedaling out the feet, drawing the heels of the feet towards the ground. And then if you can, coming to the front of your toes, so giving a nice toe stretch here. If this is not available to you, that's fine. You can just stay in downward dog. Or you could do one foot at a time. Then returning back to downward dog, slowly walking forward to the front of your mat. Good, dangling heavy here, grabbing either elbow, crown of the head towards the ground. Releasing the elbows, walking your feet out to the edges of the mat, and you're pointing your toes outward here. And then you're just coming down into a yogi squat, so your hands are in prayer position. Good. And I'm going to just turn to face you. You can stay where you are. I'll show you so you want your whole foot on the ground here. If you find that you are on your toes, you can always place a block underneath the heel of your feet so that it looks something more like this. Or you can just use a stack of books if you don't have blocks. Good. So staying here, lengthening the spine, breathing, bringing your arms upwards. Inhale, slowly rising up. Exhale, coming back down. And then one more time, inhale slowly up. Exhale, bringing your hands together and down to the heart. Good. So we'll move into our first flow. So inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, stepping back to a plank, taking your chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhaling the right leg up. Exhale, bringing it through, planting it in between the hands, dropping your knee into a low lunge, keeping your back toes tucked here. Good. Inhaling the arms up, lengthening. Exhaling here. Inhale, lifting their knee off the ground for a high lunge. So we're going to start to shift our weight forward. So bringing your arms straight out in front of you. Start to shift to your front leg. And then we're going to lift the back leg off the ground, balancing here. Bringing your hands to your heart. So you want to keep your hips square here. So there may be a tendency for your leg to want to rise up, opening, and you really just want to keep your hips square. So that may mean that your leg isn't raised quite as far, and that's okay. So breathing here. Bringing your hands to your hips, bringing your left leg through and up. Good. So the top of your leg is parallel to the ground here. Start to draw circles with your ankle, hands still on the hips. And then straightening the leg, keeping the hips square, lifting that leg up a little bit more if you can. Exhale, bringing it down beside the other. Good. So moving to the other side, inhaling arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, planting the hands, stepping back to plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhaling the left leg up to the sky. Exhale, bringing it through, planting it in between the hands, dropping your right knee, low lunge. Inhaling, arms up. Exhaling here. Inhale, lifting your back knee off the ground. Exhaling here, sinking a little deeper. Bringing your arms out forward, shifting your weight into your left leg. And then coming up to balance on your left leg. Bringing your hands to prayer position, keeping those hips square again. Again, maybe your right leg wants to open up, so keeping it square. So warrior 3. Hands to hips. Bringing that right leg through without touching the ground, all the way forward. Your top of your leg parallel to the ground here. Shoulders up, back and down. Crown of the head towards the ceiling. Good. Drawing circles with the ankle. And then straightening your leg. Keeping the hips square, see if you can raise it up another inch or two. Holding. Good. Exhale, bringing it down. Good. So from here, we're going to go into a balancing series. So I'll offer two options, and you can do whichever one you want. So the first option will just simply be tree pose. So you'll start with, we'll start with the right leg. So bringing it up into tree pose. And from here, you'll then go into the figure 4 and squatting down. So that's option 1. Option 2 requires a little bit more balance. You'll start with your right leg in half lotus. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, fold. Good. So from here, you're going to bend your left knee and you're sinking down. So you are balancing on the tips of your toes. And there is a gap in between the heel of your foot and your butt. So your butt isn't resting on the heel of your foot. So using a little bit of strength. And this one's a little bit hard to balance. So maybe you just stay here. Maybe you bring one arm up. Or maybe you bring your hands to prayer. So find maybe a steady spot on the ground. Good. Inhale, coming back up, so leaving a micro bend to the knee. Inhaling your arms up so your leg is still in half lotus. Exhale the hands down to the heart. And then slowly coming out of the pose. Good, so moving on to the left side. Again, either option here, so you can find your tree pose if you would like. Bringing the left leg up. And then from here, you would move into crossing the left leg over the right in a figure 4 and sinking down. And staying here. So that's option 1. So you can go ahead and take that if you'd like, or you can try option 2 with me, requiring a little more balance. So go ahead and find your half lotus with your left leg. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold. And then bending into the right leg, coming down. So you may notice this side is a little bit harder, easier to balance, and that's fine. So maybe you just want to stay here. Or maybe you want to try the prayer. Good. Bringing the hands back to the ground. Bringing yourself back up, micro bend to the leg. Inhaling the arms up. Exhaling them down to the heart. And then uncrossing your foot, bringing it back down. Good. So coming back to the front of the mat. Inhaling your arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, and we're stepping back to a plank. Going forward and backward on your toes here. Working into the feet and ankles, feeling strong with your arms. And then finding stillness, dropping your knees down, and falling into a child's pose. So you can do your knees farther apart here, or you can keep them together, whatever option you choose. Arms outstretched. And then resting your forehead on the ground. So we'll stay here for about a minute, coming to the end of our short flow. So coming back to the breath. Letting your breath slow down. Feeling the points in which your body meets the earth and the ground, your hands, your forehead, tops of your legs, your feet. And then slowly coming up out of the child's pose, so walking your hands back. And then we'll just meet in a simple cross-legged seat again to end our time here together. So ending with 3 breaths together. Inhaling the arms up. Exhaling down to the heart. Inhaling our arms up. Exhaling our hands down to the heart. And one more time, inhaling the arms up. Exhaling down to the heart. May the light in me honor the light in you. Until next week, namaste.